Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I am Deepa Berar and I'm here to inspire you all to live a deeply beautiful life. So I've got another Makeup 101 video for you guys today. It's been a minute, but this one we are carrying on with our foundation series. And this is easily one of the most important elements when it comes to having your makeup look completely flawless and give you a professional finish, and that is how you apply your foundation. So it's not just the type of foundation that you choose to use or wear. And if you guys need any help trying to figure out what that is, I did a video on how to pick the right foundation for you, which I will link for you guys. But what's even more important is how you choose to apply your foundation. So when I first started out in makeup, I was like most girls, super into eyeshadow. I really just wanted to play with all the really fun colors out there, all of the glitter and the lashes. Like I was just like saw all this blingy, shiny stuff as most of us girls do and got completely distracted by it. And I just wanted to perfect my eye makeup. And the more I would work on my eyeshadow application and take pictures and stuff like that, and I would look in magazines and it just didn't look right. Like it just, the two did not compare at all, and I couldn't figure out what it was for the longest time. But then I figured it out, and it was like, you could have the most beautiful eye makeup in the world, but if you don't have the flawless foundation down first, it will never pop as much as it would if you got all of this right first. So that was something that I really wanted to perfect. So I ended up shifting my focus from trying to make eye makeup look amazing and the contouring and all that kind of stuff. And I started focusing on making the skin look really nice. Just making sure that I picked the right shades and I picked the right type of foundation and I chose the right application tools and I applied it to the best of my ability. And then everything started to come together. So that is what I'm hoping to help you guys with today. So let's get into this video. Before we do, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. If you like this video, give me a like. So in this video, we're gonna go over 3 different ways to apply foundation based on what type of foundation and coverage level you're looking for. So this first method is gonna be for those of you that are looking for a really light coverage. You just wanna even out your skin tone a little bit, but you don't wanna look like you're wearing foundation. Or it's for those of you that like to use more of like those BB creams or CC creams or a really lightweight foundation. So the one I'm gonna be using in this video is the IT Cosmetics CC cream, as well as the 188, or as we call it, the skunk brush from MAC. So you can either apply the foundation directly onto the brush, you can apply it directly onto your face and then buff it out with the brush, or you can apply it onto your hand and then pick it up with the brush and then blend it out. So the whole goal with this look is to make it look as natural as possible. Well, I mean, we're gonna do that with all 3 different foundations, but especially with this one, we're just going for a very light sheer coverage, but you want to make sure that it is blended really well into the skin and that it is evenly applied. So I'm gonna pick up the foundation, and what you want to do, I'm gonna grab my mirror here for a second, is take your foundation and you're going to go into circular motions and buff it in. That's basically what you're gonna do with this. And it looks really nice on the skin, but you can still see like a little bit of my sunspots coming through. So it doesn't look like you're wearing a ton of product, but the skin tone is just like nice and even if you compare the 2 different sides. All right, now for the second one, we are gonna move on to those of you that are looking for a medium coverage. So that's basically when you want to cover up some of the spots and you want to kind of even out the skin tone and make sure that there's not too much discoloration visible. Like, you know, when you see a little bit darker right over here and then it's lighter over there, you just wanna kind of make it a little bit more even, but you still obviously don't want to look like you're wearing a ton of foundation. So I just removed the side over here and I'm going to reapply with the medium coverage just so you guys can kind of compare 3 different foundation applications. So for this one, I'm going to be using the CoverFX Custom Cover Drops. This, if you guys haven't tried this, I love this foundation. It's really good. You can kind of customize how much coverage you want in this foundation just by how many drops you want into something like a primer. I'm going to be using their calming primer, or you can mix it into your moisturizer or your sunscreen, whatever it is that you want to use as a medium to hold the foundation. And then it goes like 1 to 2 drops is a little bit more sheer, 2 to 3 drops is a little bit more medium coverage, and then 4+ drops is full coverage. So for the purpose of this video, we're going to do 2 drops. Pouring a little bit of primer onto my hand. I'm going to shake this up. I don't know about you guys, but if I haven't used a foundation for a while, I always somehow forget to shake the foundation up. And then it comes out and it's like this clear liquid, and then the foundation comes, I'm like, oh my God. I don't know, maybe it's just me. So you just pick it up with a dropper and then you're going to drop, okay, that didn't work. So we got 2 drops in here, and now we're just gonna mix it up. So for medium foundation coverage, I like to use a brush like a flat top foundation brush. It's similar to the other brush that we use, the 188, but The difference is that in this brush, it has a density of hairs at the bottom right over here. The black hairs, there's a lot more of them, and then there's less white synthetic hairs poking through. So it picks up less foundation, and then the bristles down here blend it out. This one has all of the hairs are the same length, but then the tip of it is those synthetic fibers. So we're just gonna pick up a little bit of the foundation, and it's the same idea as last time. You're just going to buff it on, but you can already see like it just goes on with more coverage. But because you're buffing it, it's blending into the skin more than if you were to use one of those flat foundation brushes. And you don't get that sort of X mark, you don't get any streakiness, you just get a really nicely blended foundation. So this brush is actually one that I just fell in love with. I haven't tried one of these before, but I received it in, I don't remember what package it was, but from Royal and Langnickel. If you guys heard my story before, I think I told you guys about how Royal used to make ceramic brushes and my dad had a ceramic manufacturing company. We used to actually sell Royal brushes. But anyway, this one is just so nice because I just like how it just evenly sits on the skin and it buffs everything out. Like it's just, I think if I had to pick one foundation brush, I really like this brush. It's not in my Makeup 101 face brush series just because I hadn't discovered it by then. This is a really recent find. Okay, now we're on to our third and final foundation application, and that is for those of you that are looking for full coverage. So I used to be the type of person, I don't know about you guys, but I never wore foundation when I was younger, ever. Because I always had like decent skin. I didn't really need a lot of coverage. So I just thought instead of putting foundation on my face, I would just rather use concealer in areas where I needed it and then just kind of set with a powder. Then just recently I've gotten more into foundation. When I was growing up, there wasn't a whole lot of options for people with my skin tone or darker. And most of the foundations out there that I found were very pink toned. I couldn't find a lot of olive tones. Even now, which kind of seems a little ridiculous, a lot of the foundations that you find out there I find are a little bit more yellowy or they're more orangey. There's not a lot that are kind of like really perfect for my particular skin tone, which is a little bit more olive. But one thing that I'm loving that I just found is the Hourglass Vanish stick. And this video is not sponsored by them or anything. I genuinely just really love this foundation. It comes in this stick and you twist it up and it's just a really nice color. And for me, I actually am enjoying using more medium to full or full coverage foundations, but it's all in the application because I want to make it look really nice and natural and make it look like it blends right into your skin, but it's covering really well. And to achieve that look, I really love to use the Beauty Blender sponge. And I know it might seem a little weird because I'm using a cream stick with a beauty blender, but just watch and you'll see what I mean. So for stick foundation, what I like to do, and I'm gonna do the whole entire face so you guys can see this. So I just like to lay down the marking, but do you see how nicely that blends right into my skin tone? I mean, it does have a little bit of yellowness in it, but it's not like crazy yellow like other foundation brands out there. And I'll just draw lines. And if I need more, I'll go back and add more. And then I'll just take my Beauty Blender and just bounce it. And just, I love the Beauty Blender. I just love how it just blends everything. It really pushes it into the skin. And pushing it into the skin is what makes all the difference with your foundation application. Whatever brush or tool you're going to use to apply your foundation, using something to push your foundation into your skin will make it blend so much better. And I like that it's pointed so it gets right into these little spots and it doesn't mess up your brows, which if you do brows before foundation, you know the struggle. Now, admittedly, I'd probably need a darker color just for areas like along my forehead and around my chin. So I'd probably recommend, if you have the same issue, to get two different colors, which I know seems kind of annoying, but if you really think about it, you're getting two foundations. It's gonna last you twice as long. And that is how to apply your full coverage foundation. Like I mentioned, I'd probably get a darker one just for these areas, just because you can kind of see, because it is a fuller coverage, that means it has a lot more pigment in it. So that brings us to the end of our video. I hope you guys liked this and I hope it helped. As usual, if you haven't subscribed to my channel, like this video and share it with your friends that it might help so that we can all live a deeply beautiful life. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I'll see you in a few days.